Okay. Let's see if anybody comes on. I hope everyone is having a great day today. I guess in a sense, this ain't really like a mukbang, but I'm finna eat while I talk. Let me introduce myself for anyone who may not know who I am. I am Arailyus. I consider myself a socially awkward creative. Girl, I make content about all kind of stuff. As you can tell by the title, I move. And because it's me, because it's Arailyus, things just can never seem to go the way that they're supposed to go. So I'm gonna just sit here and eat my food and tell y'all what happened. Dang it, what did I do with my soda? I'm finna show y'all what I got. Well, I got a Sprite and some water, but I got Cheesecake Factory. I don't know if you can see that. I got Cheesecake Factory, and I don't normally eat like this, but I'm celebrating, so yeah. This is the bread. And the butter. Child, I got some French fries. I started eating them. Oh shoot, it actually came with 2 French fries. Uh-oh. Oh, Lord have mercy. I ain't never had Cheesecake Factory French fries. And then my meal is, what is this? Something herb chicken with vegetables, with green beans and mashed potatoes. It looked better on the website. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's at least it's good, I hope. So, yeah. I'm going to just get my stuff situated. I'm going to see if anybody else come on. If not, it's fine. I just need to talk about this anyway. I just need to get it off my chest. So, even if nobody is on, the fact that I will have gotten it out will make me feel a whole lot better. Oh, they didn't give me no silverware. That's crazy. I am so tired. I am exhausted. I don't know who need to hear this, but stay on while you can. Cause once you hit 40, baby, all you say all day long is how tired you are. That's all you talk about when you get older. Once you hit 40. Oh shoot, hey my friend. Once you hit 40, all you do all day long is talk about how tired you are. Oh my goodness. Amen. So, let me taste my food first before it get cold. You're always changing your name. You change your name all the time. Yeah. It's not like it's not like, oh my God, it's so delicious, but It's gonna do for tonight. mm. I'm gonna be honest. I could have cooked this better. I hate that. I got a piece of cheesecake too. It's probably gonna take me all week to eat that one slice, but I got it anyway. Mm. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Mm. Well, it is a weeknight. So I ain't gonna try to keep y'all on too long. But I just want to tell y'all what happened. It was so crazy. So, I'm gonna tell the short story first and then I'll break it down. So basically, this guy told me, he gave me a quote for moving me, right? And after we had agreed to the price and I had paid him deposit, he came back and tried to change the price. Like that's the short version of what happened. But it's the way that he did it. Like, you know, it's the details that just makes the story just like so crazy. And I said this like later that night. Discernment is a hell of a drug, and it's crazy because the owner, obviously, he was, you know, when you're working with people, you talk, you know, whatever. And one of his workers, he was there and we were talking and he was kind of like understanding what I was saying, you know, just talking about stuff or whatever. And I was telling him, I said, yeah, I'm neurodivergent, you know, whatever. And he said, is that like when you can tell if a person is good or bad? I said, no, that's discernment, you know, but shortly after, like, it's like on cue, like shortly after he said that, the mover, he asked me the stupidest question ever. I thought this was so weird. We wasn't nobody talking about this, right? And he came and he said, well, what do you think about gay pastors? And I looked at the other dude, and the other dude looked at the owner, and we were both looking like, what the hell? Like, why would you act like... I don't know. I thought that was just so crazy. But, you know, I was just like, you know, that's not something that I would support, you know, whatever. I said, I don't judge nobody because I don't, you know, I don't want nobody to judge me. What does the word say? Judge less you've been, less, judge less, y'all know what I'm trying to say. So I was just like, you know, that's just not something I would support. And I don't know how the conversation went from that to me basically, I call this freestyling. This is what I call freestyling. Like, I know to most people, freestyling, you're rhyming, right? Excuse me, and sometimes I do rhyme when I do it, and sometimes I don't. But it's like God just started speaking through me, and I was basically saying, because he was asking me about discernment, and, you know, he was kind of like, you know, how does that work? And I basically was like, yeah, that's when you can tell that people don't mean you well, you know. And I know I was saying something along the lines of, they see that you have something, and because you have nice things, They don't care that you work your ass off for it. They just see it and they want it and they feel like you shouldn't have it. So they want to try to take it from you, right? Like, you know, I was saying something along those lines or whatever. And girl, boy, when I tell you that boy got up out my house, when I tell you he left I mean, we were working. We were all having a conversation, but after that came out, that boy got away from me. That boy got away from me, and I thought it was so crazy because I don't want to say this because it may sound weird, but it relates to it. This one time I had went to church with my auntie, right? It's not funny, but I went to church with my auntie, and it was like one of those holiness churches. And the pastor, she was like walking around talking, and she started talking to this lady sitting behind us. I didn't even turn around. I really wasn't even paying attention, right? All I know is the lady was talking, and she said, "Come here, sis," or something like that. She reached out her hand. The lady grabbed her hand. I couldn't even turn around. I just heard the noise, like her body. I don't know. Her body was doing something. I don't know. But that lady had to get up out of there, and I was just like froze. Like I was scared to move. Like I was scared to turn around. Like I didn't know what was going on, and I don't know. That's the only thing that I feel like in my mind I could relate it to, because when I tell you we were in the middle of the job, we were in the middle of packing up and loading my things, and all of a sudden the man was like, "We gotta go, we gotta go, hurry up, we gotta go." And I was like, what the? I was like, is he not aware that we're on a job? You get what I'm saying? Like it was so crazy. But so yeah, I definitely crushed his little ego and whatever he thought he was trying to do to me, because that's exactly what he was trying to do. He was trying to bully me into paying him more money. Like I said, I already knew it from the beginning. I literally, before I even agreed to the situation, I already knew, like, gift of discernment. I already knew his vibes, right? And unfortunately, I don't have any help. I didn't have any help, so I could only get the help that was presented, right? And you know, we agreed on a price. I paid him half, and he came back with a story talking about the truck ended up costing more. We don't even need a truck that big. And he was like, yeah, I went to pick up the truck, and they was like, they ain't have the size that I needed. So they told me, they upgraded me to another size, but they told me I got to pay the difference. I said, sir, if you went somewhere, if you went to pick up a rental car and somebody upgraded you because they did not have what you needed, you don't pay for that upgrade, right? And it's like when he saw that didn't work, he was like, damn. So then he came with this, yeah, it's gonna take more gas and, you know, stuff like that. And I'm like, what does that have to do with me? Like, before, when we were talking about the price and, you know, the scope of the work, I asked him, I said, do you want me to rent the truck? He said, nah, I got it, right? Because he wanted the money, right? And I mean, again, like I said, I knew the vibes from the very beginning. And I mean, even when I paid the deposit did not go to him. Like, you get what I'm saying? He apparently had a legit company. It's on Google and all this whatever, but I'm just saying. But dang, I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Yeah, the money didn't go to him. So he went from the bigger truck, then the gas, then I didn't get to pick up my money, so now I'm driving with no money. Like, I'm driving down the road broke. And I'm like, I just paid you half your money yesterday. So you not having no money, what does that have to do with me? Right? Still, what does that have to do with me? And dang, it was something else he said. Dang, it was something else he said too. It was something else he said. But it was just like stupid excuses that he was giving me to try to get more money out of me. And it was little things like, dang, you got us packing extra stuff. We should charge you extra for that. And like at first, I was kind of like, saying it in a joking way, like, yo, I ain't trying to hear that. Whatever, we already agreed on the pot. I'm stern, but I'm kind of saying it, kind of joking, like, look, come on, like, don't be trying to change the price now. I was trying to say it like in a joking manner, but child, that shit escalated and it was crazy. It was so crazy because we'll have a plan and he'll change the plan. I'm gonna leave tonight. Oh, well, I'm gonna leave tonight too. But I'm not gonna drive all the way through, right? Oh, well, okay, I ain't gonna drive all the way through. Whoa, wait, what? Like, it was just craziness. And I know I told him, and I literally showed him how to do it. I said, when you get on the road, share your location with me so I make sure we meet at the storage unit at the same time so we can unload the truck, right? He was like, okay. He never shared his location. Oh, this is the other thing he did. When he said about he didn't pick up his money, I kid y'all not. I'm not lying. I'm not making this up. After I closed my garage, because he kept saying he had to go. He said, I gotta go. I kid you not. That big ass truck sat in the road for another 10 minutes after I closed my garage door. And that man had the audacity to text me and say, I didn't get to pick up my money in time. I said, I know you didn't because you sat in the road for 10 minutes, like an extra 10 minutes. This situation was so crazy. It's like he wasn't, I don't know. I just felt like he was just trying like to exhaust me, to make me just be like, here, and I was just like, it's not going to happen. Now, was I frustrated? Was I upset? Yes, very much so. Literally the whole time, all I kept saying was, Arailyus, you almost there. You almost there. You almost there. It's just a distraction. It's just a distraction. But I'm telling you, I was so hot. I was so hot. And it wasn't even that I threatened him, but he said I threatened him, right? So, even though he didn't follow through with nothing that he said he was gonna do, he called the police and had the police show up when he got there, like to the storage unit. And I was looking like, what is going on? And the police officers, like, as soon as they looked at me, they were like, you ain't did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong, right? And I'm looking, and his dumb butt gonna say, well, see, since I don't play about my money, and you tried to basically threaten me that if I don't show up with your stuffs, you was gonna take action, so I took action. The whole time, my face is like, and I'm looking at the police officers like, are you serious right now? Like, what the fuck? When I tell you, but you know what the enemy meant for evil, God worked it out for my good. Because when I tell you, it took them it took them a good 3 hours to unload my stuff. And so basically what I had to do, I forgot to even tell y'all what happened. So basically what happened, I had to pay him before he would load my stuff, which I left out. So now I can say, so what the enemy meant for evil, God worked it out for my good. So because I had already paid him, he couldn't charge me nothing extra, right? So it still worked out for me, and they still had to unload my stuff. And I told the police, it was 2 police officers, and one of them, he was just talking, what part of Georgia you from? Oh yeah, I was up in Hiram, and like, that's one of the police officers. And the other one, I'm like, this man tried to scam me, and he just looked at me like, child, don't even worry about it, right? But I just thought that whole situation was so crazy. But I told him, I was like, me paying him was never an issue, right? I was like, I never had an issue not paying him. I already paid him half, right? But they were just like, pay him up front, you know, and he'll unload your stuff. And they were just like, if he don't unload your stuff, then, you know, he'll be in trouble, right? So, all it did was make him do his job. But the thing about it is that this is what I have experienced, what I have learned. I'm not a therapist, psychiatrist, nothing like that. I'm a nerd. I use a lot of common sense, you know, whatever, and I have a very wild imagination. So I know that what narcissists, when they realize that they've lost, they literally do some stupid stuff like this. Like, when I tell you, his ego was so crushed because I called him out. And I mean, he wasn't expecting it. He was not expecting me to come at him like that. Like, and it's a good and a bad thing, but people look at me, men, women, well, it's mainly men. Women don't really do it. It's mainly men. They look at me and they be like, oh, she's pretty. All I gotta do is flirt with her a little bit, you know, and I can get over on her. That's just how it's been like that for a very long time. But I'm catching on to it now, obviously. So, yeah, he wasn't expecting none of that. And when I tell you, when we finally got done, I just said, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. We did it. 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 And it's like everything that I had been through up until that point, it didn't even matter no more. So I'm so happy. I'm so proud of myself because I stood my ground. I stood my ground, and it worked out in my favor. So, yeah. I think I'm going to stop there with that story. It's other parts to the story, obviously, but that one was just one of the craziest ones. It was some other crazy ones too, but child, that's crazy, right? This food probably cold now. I don't know. I'm so happy to be in Florida, though. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. I've been praying for this for a very, very long time. And it finally happened. So I'm just eternally grateful to God. And on that note, I don't think y'all care about, I guess I could show y'all, at least finish the video, right? So I got red velvet cheesecake. And that's how it look. And this is what I'm gonna have to celebrate, but unfortunately, I don't want it right now. I don't know. I'm gonna sit here and try to do something with this, but I feel so much better. Like, I see nobody came on the live, but nobody came on the live, but that's fine. Like I said, I just needed to get that out, and now that I got it out, I feel so much better. So I'm gonna end this video here. At least the french fries are still good, so I can eat those. But yeah, come along this journey. We are in a new state. New state, who this? But yeah, I'm Arailyus, socially awkward creative. If you like these kind of videos, I mean, all my videos are not like this, but I just had to talk about what happened. I can't hold things in very well. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Bye.